now for a check of your Fox 47 forecast.
Fox 47 meteorologist Brian Bachman back with a look at your forecast tonight. A lot of ground to cover here, so let's just dive right in. First and foremost, on top of the rain and the thunderstorms that are moving in as we speak, we also have an air quality advisory currently in effect that actually goes all the way out until midnight tomorrow night for this latest bout of wildfire smoke from Canada that's settling in over the region. In fact, looking at your window this evening, even as the rain has begun, you might even notice a bit of that smoky haze already lingering near the ground. That's because a lot of this rain is actually going to help to drag higher concentrations of that smoke down to ground level. So be especially careful about going outdoors, obviously wet weather aside. If you fall into the groups of folks who either have respiratory ailments or heart conditions, the air quality is expected to be especially hazardous for you as we just watch more of this smoke over the next 24 hours or so really settle in over the state. We'll see how things go later tomorrow, but there's even a chance that those air quality issues could linger into Friday, depending on exactly what kind of wind pattern sets up here and where that smoke tends to go. But certainly at least the next 24 hours or so, be prepared for that. Rain picking up in intensity around the greater Lansing area right now into Grand Ledge with some heavier downpours, Windsor Township too, and this will all continue to build east. Light rain coming down toward the Meridian Township, Perry areas, and really at this point just about everybody dealing with light to moderate rain with the potential still for some embedded thunderstorms to be added to the mix here too. All of this coming in along and north of a stalled frontal boundary just south of the area that will finally sink out of the picture going into the day tomorrow, finally giving up ground to that more refreshing dome of high pressure we've been talking about all week. It's moving in across the Dakotas, and with it set to dig in across the Great Lakes going into the second half of the week, that is when the weather will finally start to feel a whole lot better. But we continue to deal with the high levels of humidity out there right now. Most of our dew points are still in the 70s, but with that rain starting to use up a lot of that moisture, even by tomorrow morning, we're in for a big change. Heading out the door with any leftover showers, we're talking about dew points way down into pleasant territory in the 50s. And it just gets drier from there. Tomorrow evening and well into tomorrow night, we even start to see some dew points dip down into the 40s. Some very dry fall-like air finally set to roll in for a little bit once we get beyond the wet weather. Speaking of, here it is on Futurecast timed out. We'll just continue with these periods of light to moderate rain. Chances greater this evening for some embedded thunderstorms along and south of I-94. So from Jackson south, be prepared for that possibility. But realistically, an embedded rumble of thunder not out of the question for all of our neighborhoods as this rain continues into the early morning hours tomorrow. Some leftovers even around commute time at 8 a.m. But get to lunchtime, the rain starts to move out. We break out some sunshine in the afternoon, and smoky haze aside, it's going to be a whole lot more pleasant of a day ahead. Over tonight, periods of rain and thunderstorms, low eventually falling to about 60 degrees. And in your 7-day forecast, we'll see a high of 75 for tomorrow, feeling a whole lot better once that rain clears out, staying in the 70s with 50s by night Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday when we see a high return to 80.